The use of animals for research is wrong. It is inhumane to torture millions of animals. Most animals have to be put under different kinds of methods of experimenting. Some procedures done to animals are force feeding, inhalation, food and water deprivation, and inflictions of burns. Almost all animals that go through all of that end up dying or are put into immense trauma. Animals like primates to guinea pigs and rabbits to cold-blooded animals are used for experimentation. More than 99% of animals used are not even covered by even the minimal protections of the Animal Welfare Act. The progress for research is more important to many compared to the cruel factor. In the summer of 1981, a federally funded organization called the Institute for Behavioral Research was ran by an experimentalist and animal researcher with no medical training. Within the institute's compound was 17 monkeys in cages. The monkeys went through several painful surgeries that affected their spinal nerves and left their limbs impaired. The trauma of imprisonment and treatment left them crippled with ripped flesh and missing phalanges. Animals shouldn't go through all of that just for researching. Millions of dollars are put into animals for research when there's other clinics that like prenatal care, trauma units, and community mental health services are lacking funds when the government should focus on them. There are also organizations and groups that are against the use of animals for research. Using animals for research is inhumane and wrong. There are also other alternatives to replace the use of animals for research.
Animal experimentation has been around since 500 BC. Even back then, humans had wondered what they were like, and so they decided to test it on an animal for knowledge. An estimate of 26 million animals are used every year for animal testing. The experiments are being used by and for advancing technology to help the human race, and to help the future. Not only that, but also to find cures and diseases that affect people in every way. The Federal Food Drug and Cosmetic Act, as well as the Animal Welfare Act, supports animal experimentation. The FDA and the AWA supports animal experimentation because of the past accidents that have occurred when the things were not tested, affecting a lot of people. It is used to help people stay and be safe. Yes, not all experiments have great results in the end. And that is why we test the experiments, and so that those bad results don't happen again. The products we buy monthly, the food we eat weekly, the objects we use for hobbies, it is all tested. If we stop these experiments, the hope for curing will die. Saving lives is now a limit. The product we use will no longer exist, and food to become rare. Without it, human race will slowly decrease. The human race will then become the test subjects in order to survive. Sacrifice. Humans are then going to be used for animal testing. And who's willing to be the next test subject to help the human race survive?